So we're here looking at the indexation method and we're in week 5 of CGT. Now effectively indexation is an allowance for inflation. It's as simple as that. It's an allowance for inflation. It means our cost base will increase. It's going to go up. Now that's a good thing. It means we'll have less tax to pay. So in simple words, indexation, do we like it? Yes, we do. Now the first thing is we need to hold the asset for more than 12 months. I'll give you an example. Let's say I bought some ANZ shares in 1990. I sell them in 1992. I've held them for 2 years. Have I held the asset, my ANZ shares, for more than 12 months? Tick. Yes, we have. Therefore, indexation can potentially apply. Where's the law for this? Division 114 is the legislation. So if you want to go into the legal database, you can go there, have a look. Now we spoke about the elements of the cost base previously, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 elements. The third element is not indexed, whereas all the other elements are. So if you're not sure what I mean by the elements of the cost base, go back through the lecture notes, the lecture handout and readings, find them and you'll know what I mean. But the third element is not indexed. Indexation does not apply if you have a capital loss. So if we have a potential capital loss, we completely ignore the index cost base. Dates are very important with indexation. Another point to note here, to be able to use the indexed method, we need to be in these dates here. So 20 September 85, we'll know the asset needs to be post CGT, and then we're potentially have bought it before this date. So as long as we've purchased it before 21 September 1999, then potentially we might use indexation. And as noted here, after 21 September 1999, indexation is not effective anyway, and we will potentially use the CGT discount method. Moving on, the indexation factor, we'll go through what that is in a minute, is rounded to 3 decimal places, with rounding up if the 4th decimal place is 5 or more. Once again, we'll go through an example soon. I didn't make that up. Notice that it's in the legislation itself. It's section 960-275. And the other thing to note is that after 21 September 1999, as I said before, indexation is frozen. So if we sell an asset after this time, we're going to use this factor. So let's look at this example. Jean bought an asset on the 22nd of September 1989. So the first thing to note, I would circle that and say that is post CGT. We're going to do the calculation. If it was 1980, 1982, it will be pre-CGT. We wouldn't even worry about it. The asset's been sold on the 25th of July 2017. That's after 1999, okay? So we're going to use the indexation factor of 68.7. So it was purchased for $17,000, and then she incurred capital expenditure of $3,000 to enhance the value of the asset in March 1994. So we've got potentially 2 separate assets here that we need to index. So let's have a look and see what the index cost base is. The first asset, $10,000, 68.7. Where did I get that from? Go up to the table. 68.7. I know it's going to be small, but it's this number here. That's the frozen quarter. We now go back 22nd September 1989. 1989. September quarter, 54.2. It's that one there. 68.7 divided by 54.2. You can do that in the calculator. That will give you a rounded indexation factor of 1.267. Now you must round to 3 decimal places following the rule here. You then do the 3,000, which we'll do with you. 68.7 divided by 61.5. Remember that was purchased in March 94. Go back to the table. 94 March, 61.5. Can you see where I'm getting the numbers from? Hopefully you can. 68.7 divided by 61.5 means that comes to 1.117 following the rules for rounding. We add them together and our index cost base is 16021. Now I hope that helps you in terms of understanding the index cost base. If we didn't index the cost base in this example, the cost of the asset would have been 10,000 and 3,000, being a total of 13,000. We have an index cost base of 16021. We like the index cost base. Why? Because our capital gain will be lower when we potentially sell the asset.